might not be aware of this position, but he's going to sprint. He gives his position away, being watched from Solarian. The plan is confirmed. Now his job becomes increasingly more difficult, infinitely more impossible. Trying to round the corner, there's not much time left. He's trying to find the players, but indecision plaguing the player. The rotation spots the head, can't land the kill, the rotation comes in. Benny shuts things down, and Team Ash are going to the semi-finals.
4v3, Calvard finally going down. Tekka was incredibly low, Edgelord also tagged as well, and 2v4.
And is very close now to the final stretch as we see Ghost is a bit boxed in here, but it doesn't really matter. They're working the timer. Elites and Lumens to clean it up, and Team Blitz with an almost flawless 7 rounds in a row. Just that slight hiccup near the end, but 7-3 is a very respectable scoreline, and they progress. However, Team Clash are unfortunately out of the competition.
At least wedged into the corner. It's going to be difficult to try and get themselves out of here. You have to check the side there inside of blue. You can see the outline as they pick up the other one, but it's Willie from the other side. Team Glaz collect the first round of Clubhouse.
Smoothly for themselves, but you're looking now, this is where it starts to become crunch time. Taking up time is okay if you're making sure you get an advantage for it, and you're getting something. They've taken space inside a kitchen, but now with Tanghu getting aggressive upstairs as well, you lose your Habana. We're not quite sure what work has been done upstairs on the hatches, so now trying to make sure that you can carry that through. Bit of damage onto the Lion as they're still fighting over control upstairs. IQ taking a hefty blow as well, but the mirror still goes down inside of Pool. That kill has come back. You tied it again at a 4-4.
4-4, not too bad for either team, but the attacking side certainly taking their time. But they'll collect one Amguns, manages to funnel themselves down dirt and collect at least one life, giving them that man advantage. HP not looking too hot for Adobe Photoshop as well. So there is opportunity for this to go either way. Still, freeze frame. No one really moving. Everyone standing still. Statues. Almost like the mannequin challenge a few years ago.
We have seen teams sometimes do that, but now trying to push in towards Generator. Going to walk up with a nade. That's a bold attempt. Going to take a wonderful flick from R6 afterwards to take down the threat coming in from Oil Pit. One more on blue stairs that you have to try and look for. A bit of damage onto the Brava, but can't find the kill.
Oh, the C4 over the top.
Oh,
it
gorgeous.
Beautifully done. You will line of fence will fall. And sad pops out into the chat there. Adobe Photoshop not quite happy with that engagement. 3 versus 3, and Lumens managed to snatch onto that one. Pogoptis not quite paying attention as he pushed down that main corridor. 1 versus 3 scenario for Amgun to try and find something, but they're stuck inside the dart. There's crossfires everywhere. There's absolutely no way they can get down here. They might get a couple extra frags, but nothing. Defenders, Team Blitz, they will win this one out. Castle barricade inside of Gym. And this is the issue with this one. No matter how many times you try to cover this window, someone's going to swing and try and almost always get something from it. Lumen falls or will be punished. Sledge has returned to their feet, and a hop in through the window there for the Capital as they try to take some space inside the cache.
And it's a shame because you don't need to. You can play around this utility. You haven't got these walls reinforced. You have got the construction wall closed off, so it's a little bit more all in on the idea that you're going to just buy time initially, and then you have this extra reinforcement that forces the attack to go through another layer of defense. A wide swing from the castle, shots into the Capital and does go down. R6 Ghost stepping up massively for his team in really important moments, and now back to watching Logi hatch, and that was an oversight from Team Glaz. They've thrown a smoke deep in to try and give themselves the opportunity to start walking into sight as Thermite is lunging for the bathroom and gets a pick onto the mute as well. That's the initial control.
What has happened here on the defense? Just not quite paying attention. Managed to get a good foothold inside the Gym. They can go for the plant if they want it. They still have a minute to work with. So much time to try and get this done. But it's a flank run from the back end from Tenghong. They're not paying attention. They found Willie drop the C4 right next to the weights as well and push aggressively to the top of the staircase. Team Blitz, they're going to take that one on the defense though. Slow it down.
With this threat, you want to shoot the firebots in when you have enough operators to come in and challenge onto 90 as well, but that's the ultimate plan here. You have so much space that you want to fire on off, and when you have a second player on rafters who can play around 90, who can be this extra threat, it becomes so much harder to deal with. But Ghost elsewhere gets that initial pick, and we're not currently seeing the bodies sent towards Garage. It's exactly what you need to do. Throwing a smoke down on the doorway is an interesting call, but currently not waiting on too much else.
Yeah, bit of an interesting one. Repel here from Willie as well, just try to catch anyone that could be moving back towards construction, and it looks as though they could be rewarded for it, but can't quite get quickly enough onto the trigger to remove the Legion from the round. Rotate round at the same time from Pacopus towards that platform area, trying to find any sort of pressure onto the Clash, but there's not. You need that two-prong pincer motion to try and get rid of them, because at this stage they can just stand there. Elite's is going to be comfortable, quite happy just wasting time, and we need that Capital in that position to try and get them moved. You highlighted it perfectly well, but Capital now not interested, headed over towards the main breach to try and support the players there. They've changed things around. It looks as though they're going to try and move towards the other side and come from that construction side.
Yeah, opening up the construction breach now as well, and it does leave this Clash, like you mentioned, isolated. Going for the upside down repel on the main breach, trying to get the angle down in towards Garage window, and it's going to work out for them fantastically. A heads-up play from Amguns. That isolates the Clash as Willie coming in from the backside. Now, exactly what you mentioned, they want to go for that pinch, and it's paying off so heavily. In the 4 versus 3 advantages, Clash taking damage, trying to get a vest, aggressive, but dropping into them.
Where's the leash has just completely disappeared as they drop through. DFG managed to find a double. Elites will fall as well. Pacopus will collect that one. Not quite looking the right way. R6 Ghost will find Willie looking for the double. It's a 2 versus 1, but it's DFG to finish off the round. And Team Blitz, they hold strong on CCTV. Charge of holding on to that generator position as Amguns goes for the rotate round to the back end towards that dirt and down towards Arsenal.
Peeking on in. Again, no one playing as aggressively inside of dirt this time around. Elite does get a kill onto Jubilon. That's not how you wanted this to start, especially losing your Lion. That's what can coordinate your round. And now they're a little bit afraid of anyone coming around for the flanks. There's no EMPs brought either, so this moto hatch will stay locked down. You've only got a minute left, and they're running up to the top floor to check for any roamers. This is the furthest from ideal that you could possibly be in, dropping a Claymore to cover their backs. As Tang, who is able to get the kill onto Willie, who tried to drop down the hatch to initiate this execute.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult from this position. 40 seconds also, still time to work with to try and get something. Amguns trying to play the patience game, waiting, but time is a ticking. DFG will find them. Must have just removed their head just as soon as we came off of them, unfortunately. The Twitch goes in to try and remove that mirror window at the bottom of the main stairs, but Lumen will collect Pacopus with the C4 and Adobe Photoshop and a 1 versus 3. But it's a flawless round to come through, and Elites collects another one on it as well with another flank. It worked out.
My view is on a LAN where people haven't played together, it's defender lead.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
just because people
You know what? Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But
There's method to my madness, if you want to see that. R6 Ghost starts things off, Adobe Photoshop will fall, that's the Nomad gone as well, and you mentioned flank watches. Sorry buddy, no air jabs for you, it is the cameras for the rest of the round, so hopefully those drones are in the best position possible to try and stop this. So maybe, you know, it was a good thing that we lost them early, because that was what went wrong last time.
Well, now afraid still of CC window, and again, this is what happens if you don't put any dedicated players to clear this space out. You're enabling Lumen to play very aggressively in line, constantly on watch these side windows. The Bandit comes back on, gonna throw out an EMP, but immediately met with a Zoto. You've got to put pressure on that gym window. It's how you have to play it now. They do get the Zoto off, though, so a great job to start getting this breach open on up. Whether that goes through, whether another Zoto was thrown out to meet it, as all 3 have now been used, I'm still not quite sure. Sending a drone in towards server now to try and flush out this Bandit. But again, there's no threat, so he's happy to shoot a drone, fake a runoff, and stay.
Yep, exactly. You're not going to give up this position. No one's there to challenge you. You're just going to float around there, and people have to be wary. They can't move. They can't be comfortable. And you've seen that there's 2 players just now completely taken out of the game because they have to just focus on the potential that someone could come from that CCTV. It's saying that they have fallen off. Lumen will find Willie though, so they do get a reward for hanging around in that position. But it's almost like Pacopus is teasing us with potentially going in the gym window. A down will come on the other side. It's Amguns who's decided to take matters into their own hands and hop through that hatch. But DFG is lying in wait. A Gooman in a foot for Pacopus gets them stuck in a rotate, and R6 Ghost will collect that pretty much for free. It's a 1 versus 4 situation, 1 versus 5 even for Ubelon, who has headed to the roof to probably have an impromptu tech. I was going to say tech pause, but that's not a word. I'm just used to I've got tech pause in my brain right now because there's that many constantly throughout Siege at the minute. R6 goes to hop out the window, and Ubelon will fall. Flawless round again. Team Blitz looking fabulous so far.
Gonna get immediately shot down. A bit of an anticlimactic end.
Yeah, exactly. They're actually funneling in here. This actually could be quite dangerous. You know, if you get a bit too complacent on the Blitz and you don't quite take those fights, then you could catch yourself in a sticky situation. Elites though will find Adobe Photoshop, who will fall first. That is the mirror taken off the board. Let's start things off as they have in previous fashion with commanding start. A minute gone on the clock. Still, R6 Ghost not really want to enter. They don't really want to move. It's very much just, yeah, let's just hold inside the dirt until hopefully our teammates can get this done inside of Arsenal. Tinghole will find Willie, and that brings that 3 versus 5 situation. R6 Ghost still thinking about going into site, and eventually they decide to do it. Elites will find Pacopus, and this is not going to be fun for the Maestro. Elites will find Amguns, and they're just steamrolling right through his sight. They're stuck in the corner. Arsex Ghost manages to, or Ubelon managed to shut down Arsex Ghosts. It's a 1 versus 4 Golo here though.
Yeah, now hunting him down. They know the Legion's in the back of church because they've, well, he's just shot down the Blitz, and they're going to charge on through. A fantastic execute, using the smokes to cover the line of sight, isolate the Maestro, charge him down. And that's what happens when you have a shield, right? This big plate of metal staring right at you. It's scary, it's intimidating.
Yeah, it really
you
is.
want to just funnel your shots into it, and when you got 81 of them to spare in the outer, why not? And then immediately the swing from the Yana in behind you just comes in, couple shots into your chest, you go down, and you start feeling a little bit silly. Now in the back of Cash, though, this is where things can become a little bit dangerous. That is a very slow fire rate LMG, and you don't want to be taking a direct confrontation against the AK-12, and you'll get gunned down in the corner.
You certainly will. Lumen just snatches that opportunity. Arsex Ghost will find Willie as well, and it's starting to unravel here a bit for Team Glaz. He could potentially be bowing out of the competition. 2 versus 5 as Adobe Photoshop is down, but not out of the situation. A little flank from below, almost find something. Ubelon will find DFG as they hop through the hatch. Lumen though is inside his sight, just getting aggressive. Ubelon will be immediately refragged, and it's a 1 versus 4, but it's not going to happen. DFG's there to finish it off, and Team Blitz, they will very successfully finish off that game 7-1 on Clubhouse.
Yeah, ultimately a dominant win for Team Blitz, and that's exactly what they've been looking to do, right? You want to keep going as far as you can through this competition, and just making sure that you come in, you get these wins when you can very comfortably. You know, there's part of you that looks at this and goes, oh, well, we almost want to spend as much time playing on LAN as we can, right? But if you can get a confident win, you can build up that confidence, that momentum, you keep going to the next round. Look, they're the ones trying to pull off a miracle run here. They're trying to run this upper bracket. They lost the first game of today. They've had, what, 2 more games to play in the lower bracket, and they keep on winning. If they can keep going, I mean, what a run back to the final that would be.